What up brothers, it's Clip King returning. Welcome back to my channel for another new review, or should I say two new reviews. I will be reviewing these two figures concurrently, although only the introduction will be the same and then you'll split off into the review you've chosen. As you can see, the figures I'll be reviewing today are the Age of Ultron Scarlet Witch and the Age of Ultron Quicksilver. They've been kindly lent to me, so this review has been sponsored by Lee Ward at The Good, The Bad and The Robots. Please check out his online site and his phone number. Both figures are currently for sale from him. I will talk about the value within the review. It won't be a biased review to try and sell your figures, you can believe that. I will give you my honest opinions. I will score them up completely, and at the end of the reviews you will know my total thoughts on these two figures. But just quickly before I break away and start scoring each figure individually, I'll just show you poses pretty much straight out of the box in the upright positions, as you can see displayed in front of the packaging that each one brings. So there you have Scarlet Witch, and moving across Quicksilver. Both looking pretty simple, pretty fresh and pretty nice. So now, like I said, I will break off. The review you've chose to watch is what I will now go into. Oh, you've chosen the Quicksilver review, wise decision. As we move in, we'll talk about the packaging. As you can see, it's just the standard Marvel slipcover style, average quality box. So the figure section slides out from the surrounding slipcover. It's done in a blue and green colouring, but is uniform to the other Age of Ultron boxes, as you see. Quite nice artwork with the chromed titles with the Marvel's Avengers, Age of Ultron. On one spine of the box all we see is the Quicksilver, and it's the MMS 302 1/6 scale collectible figure. And on the other side of the box you see the lightning strike in the circle, very reminiscent to his comic book version of his outfit. With no other artwork really worth showing you, I will just say it's a straight down the middle box, nothing we haven't seen before. Like I said, fits in line nicely with the rest of the Avengers boxes, but I can only score it a 3 out of a possible 5. Moving on to the likeness, and as I move in, you can see I've changed up the pose. Got a pretty dynamic running pose. He's still using his own stand. You see, show you around him. But let's move in and talk about the facial likeness. As you can see, I think they've recaptured Quicksilver, or Aaron Taylor Johnson, quite nicely. In fact, I'll go further and say very nicely. I think the sculpt on the hair is pretty perfect. I do like the colours that have got going through it, sort of the greys and the just off blonde, and then the darker shades in the recesses of the hair. I think done a really nice touch. Moving down, again you can see the stubble going down onto the face, into the upper lip, and all the way across the chin. The eyes have got nice depth and paintwork as always with Hot Toys, and the eyebrows looking pretty sweet also. I think the likeness is pretty stunning, to be honest, on most Hot Toys figures now. There's not very many that are much off. You're talking normally getting 4s and 5s in scores. This one is pretty standout, if I'm honest. The expression is the expression you would want. Obviously you can't go extreme sprinting look, so you'd have a face that then wouldn't fit the other posers. So they've got the sort of quite intent look in the face, but like I say, it will also fit a neutral pose. So it's stunning work as always with Hot Toys. I'd be really nitpicking to even knock it down, so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 and say it is Summer Hot Toys' better work. And just as we move out, show you the pose. Yep, like I said, the likeness, it's a pretty easy 5 out of 5. Moving on to outfit, and as we move in, you see I've got the figure rotating, so I can pretty much show him all the way around. I'll start off by telling you it's not the most in-depth outfit that I've ever seen, so it won't take a lot of covering. It is accurate looking to the movie or to the character, but like I said, it's not going to blow your mind simply because at this point we've seen better, more intricate and more in detail outfits than we're going to see here. But I will say it really works well for the body, and I'll try and make that clear. Let me just show you the pose before I do. See, rotating. So let's talk about his back, as that's what's coming round. You see, he wears pretty much a skin upper body, so we're thinking like a Under Armour style running top, although it's long sleeved, or one of those Nike skins or Adidas bodies, whatever they want to call them. That's what he's wearing. I will say it is quite a thick material, and you can see there's sort of different patterns in the different sections. It also has sort of the blue piping, and then down his rib section the silver flash marks. You see it's got the blues and the silvers. Again, like I said, to my mind, really accurate looking, and possibly what this guy would wear. Bearing in mind he's not received a so-called superhero outfit yet, he is in civilian clothes, so I don't know if we're thinking like some kind of sprinter or whatever. This is possibly what he would choose to wear. I will say one of the points I do like is at the bottom of the sleeves, the sleeve actually has got the wrist pegging closed, so when you put the hands on, it doesn't keep pulling up. So if you look at it there, you get an idea of what I'm thinking. Although I think if you were to break a wrist peg, it might be a bit of a nightmare to pull the sleeve back far enough to put your secondary wrist pegs in there, so bear that in mind. The hands are sculpted, and as you see, his thumb sort of pokes through. On this hand, he's sort of got his thumb and forefinger covered, whereas on this hand, he doesn't. He's just wearing sort of the fingerless glove style. And then I'll show you there. So the hands are slightly different. Moving down to his trousers, he's pretty much got a loose fitting track bottoms, I would say, or tracky bottoms in this country, with the hits of the 3M, so it will catch the light. You see on the back pocket and down the side of his knees, and then the different materials for his legs, sort of the panel work, the cut and stitch again is awesome. You see the difference in the grey sections, sort of the accents across his arse and down the back of his legs, so to cover his quadriceps. But the main part of the trouser is actually just the black cotton material. The blue highlights down the calf section again, and that'll wrap round, and as you see it's coming down the back of his legs also. Moving down, he does wear sort of a low top sneaker, unbranded obviously, and as you see they are in the grey and the lime green with the white midsole. Again, if you look at the inside, you see he does have the air blown, the reminiscent of something like a ZX Flux or a Nike, is it Trail, I forgot what they're called now, but yeah, it looks pretty much like that. Quite nicely done, and because it is a low top and then he has a black sock inside, the ankle articulation is amazing on this, so regardless how you pose him, you're always going to be able to turn it so its foot is flat and quite realistic looking. Overall thoughts on the outfit is, it is nice what they've done. The choice of materials is pretty much perfect. It does fit the figure well and doesn't restrict the articulation, but it's not the most in-depth item. It's pretty much just shoes and then a two-part outfit, the trousers and the top. Not the most in-depth we've ever seen, so I can't give it the perfect 5, but I don't know how they could have done it any better, so I'm going to give the outfit a 4 out of 5. Boom! Rolling on to articulation. As you can see, pose set up. He's run at him that fast, he's smashed him so many times in force, Cap thinks he's surrounded. In and out before he even knows it. See? Just got him set up like that. Thought I had to. Right, let's talk articulation. We'll start at the top, we'll work his way down. I will say straight out of the box, this is one of the tightest feeling bodies I've felt in quite a long time. You just pretty much need to break all the joints in. Just warm them up, keep moving them softly backwards and forwards. Once it's done, it is a pretty articulated figure. So let's talk joints. There is a ball joint at the upper neck, although the sculpt fits the neck quite tightly, so it's limited articulation through the neck into the head. So there's a limitation there. Moving down, it does feel like the muscular body with an ab crunch section just below the pecs, rotation through the waist, and then the pelvis section is standard true type joints, so the legs obviously will kick forward and back, open to a really wide split. Up at the shoulders, again, very stiff feeling, but there is shoulder movement, rotation at the upper bicep, the double bend through the elbow, and then the hands are on a ball joint and a standard wrist peg. So, and bear in mind, like I said, the wrist peg is on the inside of the sleeve. Moving down, the good articulation through the legs, like I said, rotation at the upper quadricep, down into a double bend knee, so you can get a nice tight bend through the knee. Moving down, really good ankle articulation because the foot is, like I said, on a peg and the shoe doesn't restrict it. So, like that, you can get a nice deep movement through the foot. The only real limitations is the fact that it's tight. The outfit doesn't hinder it at all, really. I suppose maybe a little bit at the upper leg because of the trouser, but not really noticeable. The shoulders do feel very tight, and the upper body's got a really weird stiff feel about it. Again, I don't want to break it into the extreme where it's loose feeling because it's not my figure, so I've not really gone as mental as I would have with my own figures. I'd have thought the joints on the body, I'd have given it a 5 out of 5, but because of the stiff feeling, I'm only going to give it a 4. Again, the neck is not the most articulated I've felt before. Like, if you even compared it to Cap's, who's on a lower ball joint at the lower section of the neck because it's a head and neck sculpt, the articulation on the head on Cap is a lot better than on Quicksilver. So for that reason, I am going to score the articulation a 4 out of 5. Rolling on to extras and accessories. Before I move down, I'm just going to show you, this lad will run so fast, he can even run outside at cabinet. Look at that, that's beautiful. Tell me another reviewer that's gives you a pose as fucking well thought out and executed as that, and I'll fucking retire from YouTube because you just don't get it. You can keep your 200,000 subscribers. This is where fucking action is. Anyway, stop sucking me sen off and move down and tell you that this figure hardly brings fuck all with it. As you see, we've got the standard Marvel base now with a sort of sandpaper upper, the Avengers logo in the central. This one's a crutch grab stand. Moving down to the metallic looking nameplate with Quicksilver on it, as you see. Set of wrist pegs and then 6 spare hands. He wears the relaxed from the box, so the other set is the fists, as you can see. He has these grabbing hands, which I don't know why he has them, because he's got nothing to grab, so I don't know. And then he has these sort of flat sort of sprint hands. So you're looking at the sum total of all his extras. Even his instruction manual is a little bit thin on ground. It pretty much tells you don't try and remove the outfit and lift his head up first before you turn his head. So I say not much, and for that reason I suppose, see, I normally try and think of something else that I'd have given him, and I can't really think of other than maybe a bendable stand so you can have him running that fast that he can do something like that. I don't know. See, if he's going to be sprinting, he is going to be in a one-footed stance most of the time, and although that cradle will let him do a one-footed stance, I don't think you can get too extreme. So maybe a stand like that would have been nice, but he didn't bring it, so I can only score what he does bring. And I'm going to give the extras just a 2. Simply 1 point for the 6 spare hands and 1 point for the base. Other than that, he brings nothing. Moving on to value, and it's a somber scene brought to you by Lee Ward of The Good, The Bad and The Robots. Let's move out and see what's happening. I'm not the sort of person who likes spoiling movies, but it's been out fucking a year, so fuck you. You know what's happening there. Quicksilver's on his deathbed. Scarlet Witch, oh, she's beside us then. She's riddled, racked with grief, she is. And don't even mention Magneto, the twins' father. He's fucking furious. Somebody's only gone and killed his son. He always preferred his son. He fucking hated his daughter, but he didn't have to die. Not like this. So, rolling on to value, let me tell you about both these figures. As you see, the reviews come back together. It started together, it went its separate ways, and it's coming back together. So regardless which review you chose, you're going to see this close out. So, basically, Scarlet Witch, retails for £200 and Quicksilver retails for £180. So £20 difference, which, because Quicksilver doesn't bring as much stuff, some might think it's fair. I personally think they're both probably £20 overpriced. I think that if Quicksilver 160, I think you're getting a decent figure for a decent amount. Scarlet Witch at 180, although a little bit still on the pricey side, I think it would have been fairer. So I'm taking into account that neither of them sort of bring a lot with them. They're not key characters. You could do an Avengers setup with Atom, I honestly think, but I don't know. They are nice. They are both very nice figures in hand, but I don't think they warrant that price. So on value, because Quicksilver is the cheaper, I'm going to give him a 3 out of 5. Because Scarlet Witch is a little bit more pricey, I'm only going to give her a 2 out of 5. Which gives both of them, surprise, surprise, 21 out of a possible 30. They are twins, so it's only fair that they got the same score. Magneto might prefer Quicksilver, but I certainly don't. I would take Scarlet Witch out of the pair, although, like I said, both are nice in hand. Massive thank you to Lee Ward at The Good, The Bad and The Robots for sponsoring this review or reviews. And massive thanks to him for his support and letting me see these figures without constantly having to keep buying them. Massive shout out to him. Like I said, both are for sale. If you want to buy the ones I've reviewed, let him know soon, because I will be shipping them back to him quite shortly. Also, I will mention that he's doing a good price on the Iron Man and Pepper Potts set. He asked me to mention that in the Terminator review, but I forgot. So if you are interested in that figure, and I will say that is a nice looking Iron Man. I'm not too keen on the Pepper Potts, if I'm honest, but the Iron Man that comes with it is really nice looking. And also, his Terminator Genesis figure is still at my house. So if you want the one I reviewed, talk to him, you can sort the payment out with him, and I'll send it straight to you. Make yourself famous and own one of the figures reviewed by Uncle Clipper, because I'll be dead and gone soon. I'm getting old, I'm 41 now. I might be dead and gone in next 60 or 70 years, and you want these collectibles in your collection so you can tell your grandkids and your great-great-grandkids and great-great-great-grandkids that is the figure that appears on YouTube. Think about how special that'll make you seem. You'll be telling your grandkids about your old war stories. They'll be like, fuck off, Grandad, sick of fucking hearing them every time I see you, you're boring me. Then you can just pull out your fucking ace card and say, hey, did I ever tell you about the day I bought that figure that were reviewed in Clipper's review? The fucking little ears will prick up. They're like, Grandad, tell us more, tell us more. I'm sure that's what'll happen. But anyway, this is a Clipper King, and for now, I'm out of here.